Alrighty, it is 10:31 on a Sunday. Let's make sure that everything's coming up just fine. The stream is getting started. YouTube is going. Twitch is going. Let's fire up the TikTok. And let's get some questions coming in. I know at this point we probably don't have anyone. I need to update the stream on TikTok. And now we're up. Alrighty. Sunday morning, we should be getting the inactives any minute now. Got my phone right here to get inactives coming in from Sleeper. They typically come in about 90 minutes before the game starts. Unhandy Gecko popping in. We're checking for the inactives. We're answering some questions. They should be coming in any minute now. Any minute now. About 90 minutes before kickoff, we'll get final inactives through Sleeper. So if you guys have heard any that have popped up, let me know. We got Zapatronics on Twitch, Pick2, Dobbs, Pearsall, Jameson, Tez, Johnson. I'm going to go Pearsall and Jameson there. Emmett Cito, do I think Adams plays today? I think so. The last thing that I had seen was a Sleeper blurb, which was just recapping a Fantasy Pros blurb saying that it was likely that Adams played. We could pull up any other information from him. Still listed as questionable. Devontae Adams trending towards playing 11 hours ago from Schefter. The expectation is that he'll be active, but we won't know. All right, I've tried something different with the TikTok chat. So we've got Pat. Start two of Ladd, Kyron, and Derrick Henry. I think I'm Ladd and Derrick Henry there. Tersha? Could be Tersha. Starter sit London today. If London's playing, I'm going with London. ETN or Aaron Jones, I would go ETN. Ray. CS, should I start Jalen Naylor? I'm not excited to. I think if you catch that lightning in a bottle when it happens in a game, you take it. Otherwise, that last week, we could pull this up. Jefferson was 12 targets and 4 catches. Addison was 11 targets. The offense wanted to go through these better receivers. It just wound up being Jalen Naylor. Thoughts on Odunze today with his matchup? I like it. I don't have too many worries about it. These teams have played each other already. We're now into kind of repeat matchups. Week 1, 9 targets, a touchdown, 6 receptions, short yardage, but I think we're all right. Fuji X Shooter, should I go with Wandale, Sutton, or Judy if London is out? I think I would end up with Sutton, then Wandale, then Judy. And those first two would be closer. Let me make sure that the sound is going all right. Got sound set up to come through here. Alrighty, we just haven't had no followers yet. Woody Marks 30 plus today from user 425. 30 plus yards or points? Yards, total yards, yeah. Rushing yards, hopefully. Luckaboo, need Achane to get a touchdown. Yes. Okay, sound is working. Ashley Smith with the follow. Thank you, Ashley Smith. Jay Bushi needs a quarterback this week. Let me find this. Okay. I can see Jay Bushi. I need quarterback help this week. Gino, Jacoby, or Winston. Let's go with Winston. Let's go with the Winston. Chef, Chase Brown, ETN, Woody, or Sutton in the flex spot. I think I'm Chase Brown. Let me find you, Chef. Chase Brown, ETN. I think I have Chase Brown ahead. I have Chase Brown at 16, ETN at 17. Big Bando TV, last full flex PPR tight end premium. Do I start Brock Wright, Knox, Ridley, Bam Knight, or Singletary? Must win. Ooh. I don't know that I'm going to Brock Wright. I'm also watching the game at this time. Let's see. That's Dawson Knox. Same answer. I think I'm Calvin Ridley. Coming out of the bye. I mean, I'm not confident. Same way I don't think you are as well. Bishy Ishy, Schefter just tweeted London playing, and I do have the alerts starting to come in. So We started the stream saying we would get the alerts as they came in. Keon Coleman out. I saw that one this morning. Healthy scratch for Keon Coleman. We've got Will Disley out. Elijah Moore. No, none of these. I'm just reading them. Keandre Lambert. Brian Thomas changed to out. So that is one that I'll need to update. And let's pull him down out of the ranks. Brian Thomas Jr. now out. So I'm going with Parker Washington. We're going with Jacoby Myers. Let's move those guys up. Parker Washington I had at 30. Let's bring him in there. Where's Myers? And let's bring these guys right into the same range. Alrighty, I'm falling behind a little bit. Chase Brown or T. Higgins? I don't know. Let's go T. Higgins a little bit. Let's go a little bit of T. Higgins. Metcalf or McMillan this week in PPR from Cody Boye. I saw Chef Boyardee, and that's not it. And I've already forgotten the names. Metcalf or McMillan. I've got Metcalf at 23 and Tet McMillan at 26. Mr. Luckaboo, let's get this touchdown for Achane. I need it as well. Unhandy Gecko, another Barkley dud incoming. No. I hope not. I hope not. Gavin Trueblood, Parker Washington, or Romeo Dubs. I'll go Parker. Ryan Schreck. We covered that one. V. Kenshin, how are you doing today? How has the day gone for you? Aaron Jones or Monty? I'm going to go with Aaron Jones on that one. We got Jay Bushi, Purdy or Rodgers. I think I'm going to end up with Purdy on that one. Connor Cross, Jameson Williams. Connor. It's Justin Jefferson, Connor. But you type Jay Williams. Is it Javonte Williams? Is it Jameson Williams? Either way, I'm going Justin Jefferson. But we're now into a new era of another player that people will not type enough information for. Is it Tyler Warren? Is it Jaylen Warren? I'll never know. Mr. Luckaboo, JCM only has 4 carries. I think he's just not developing the way they thought when they moved Brian Robinson. V. Kenshin says pretty good. Thanks for asking. What about you? Hey, we're just getting up. Well, we're not. I've been up and moving for a while. Watching football since 8:30. Deep shot, incomplete for Waddle. We're moving. Ethan says Chase Brown or Woody Marks. Why is Ethan considered a key viewer? I tried a new thing on TikTok to help with the spam. Ethan has done something to be a key viewer, but then just only spam. So take care, Ethan. I hope you find your answer. Rith, Tet or Michael Wilson with Marv out? I'm going Tet. I don't know that I'm going to be right on this, but there are plenty of times where, like, Trey Tucker didn't become great because all the players ahead of him were injured or sent away in trades. Like, he still stinks. There's plenty of teams where you just, like, who was the great Jets receiver on Thursday? I don't know that Michael Wilson becomes amazing because all the better players ahead of him aren't there. So I'm not rushing to shoot him up the ranks. And the player that we mentioned was just, I would have had way higher instead. Savion Williams has been marked healthy. N64 Doc, I like that. Johnston or Metcalf? I've got Metcalf. Slight edge to DK Metcalf. I've got Metcalf at 23 and Quentin Johnston at 34. They're still pretty close. All right, is that Malik Washington? Malik Washington with a catch. Just keep spinning. Go and spin-orama to get a couple extra yards. Tony on TikTok says Algier, Bam, or Tucker. If Bam Knight is playing, I'm going to go Bam Knight. User 737, you think RJ Harvey or Tez Johnson at the flex? I would go Harvey. Some of the plays that we saw from Tez Johnson, like, they're good, but they were more fluky. The touchdowns that he had in the game last week were like scramble drill touchdown, garbage time touchdown as the game closed out. Like, you're glad that the player can do it, but I don't like to follow it up. Rith says, isn't DeMarcado the lead back over Bam? I don't know that that's the case. If we look at the game last week, there were 2 fumbles returned for touchdowns in the first quarter, and the Cardinals were losing 21-0 immediately. Like multiple, their earliest drives just turned into touchdowns for Seattle, and then they were immediately deep down in the hole. That's when DeMarcado would be the lead back. But in a neutral game where it's 0-0, 3-0, I think they were leaning towards Bam Knight. At least they had been in past games. Ooh, eccentric phase. Would you trade Parker Washington for Kincaid? Yeah, I probably would end up doing that. Who is this, Malik Washington going? I'm trying to keep an eye on the game as well. They've been going to Malik a bit. Is it time to drop JCM? I think he's droppable. I might hang on to him because like a lot of this stuff is which player's better. Right now it's Chris Rodriguez. They don't stay the same way though. Like players continue to improve, especially rookies. He'll improve. He could have a good week of practice. We could see a bad game from Rodriguez and it could swap back to him. But I'm not looking to start him. And if you wanted to drop him, I don't think that's wild. I think he should be rostered and there could still be good games. But with what we've been seeing, not really. Chugs says pick 2, Dowdle, Barkley, or Jay Williams. That's probably Javonte Williams. I think I'm Barkley and Javonte, and then Dowdle is about he'll be like running back 14-ish each week. Genty as well would be the third one. I would have Javonte ahead of Genty. Do I? Yep, I've got Javonte at 10 and Genty at 12. If you have last minute questions, gang, we also like that one where it's just all running backs. You can just check out the ranks on YouTube and get all of your running back versus running back questions answered. All of your wide receiver versus wide receiver questions, with the exception of Ricky Pearsall, who would just slot in for Jennings. Wing Fitness, Mahomes, Stafford, Hurts, pick 2. That's tough. I think I'm Stafford and Hurts. No, I've got Mahomes one single spot ahead of Stafford. So if you wanted to slot Stafford in and bench Mahomes, that's fine. I mean, really any 2 of those 3. If it were me, I have it ranked Hurts and Stafford. Then just easier matchup for Stafford. No, never mind. I have Mahomes one spot ahead. They're interchangeable. They're interchangeable to me. But I would be putting Hurts in. Dom says, should I sit Jennings for Flowers? I would go Zay Flowers over Jennings. We've got Wilver, first time chatter. Would I start JMO, Woody, Pearsall, or Wandale? I think I'm Pearsall. Pearsall, then JMO, and then Wandale for me. Donald Renteria, Addison or Johnston? I've got the slight edge for Jordan Addison against the Bears with their injured secondary. Jagger Lloyd, Goff or Jordan Love for the week. We going Goff or Jordan Love? I've got Jared Goff at 11 and Jordan Love at 17. Mr. Luckerby, you ready for the game today? I'm low key. You're a Vikings fan. Am I ready? Am I nervous? Yes and yes. Yes and yes. HN running backwards and then now somehow picking up 8 from multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Sick one. Do I start Sutton? I'm going to get Sutton into most lineups. Travis Farquhar, Parker Washington, or Michael Wilson? I would lean towards Parker Washington. OVO Storm. OVO. Ibuka or Ladd? I mean, it's super close. I have Ladd at 10, Ibuka at 12, which is coin flip range. You could flip them if you wanted to. We could check the weather. Dominic Labuti. Dominic Labuti asking about the weather. Have you seen the weather for the Ravens today? Supposed to be windy. Do I think that will affect things? How windy? Who's that? Ollie Gordon? Baltimore Ravens weather. Was that in gold? M&T Bank Stadium daily weather. 61, increasingly windy. Wind 17 miles an hour. I don't worry a lot about 17-mile-an-hour winds. I would want to see high 20 gusts. This should show me gusts at some point. Maybe it doesn't show the gusts because they're not so bad. Wind gusts 41. That could be a problem, but not with, I don't know that it is as bad with the short passing, so I wouldn't dip him too much. London or Rice? They're close enough that if you have any worry about Drake London and any sort of injury, just go with Rashee Rice. Where do I have him? I have Rice at 7, London at 8. So you could, I'm probably would be putting Rice in if that's my option. But try to make a different, could you swap one of those to a running back at some point in the future as well, or a better player? Dominic says you the best. I don't know about that. I'm just the one here. Reynaldo, Woody or Kyron? I'm going Kyron. Harvey or Wandale from JJ Hurwitz? Who's that running? From JJ Hurwitz? Where's JJ Hurwitz? Harvey or Wandale? I'm going RJ Harvey on that one. I'm going to go with RJ Harvey. DeAndre Swift and Juwan Jennings for Derrick Henry. I did that trade. What do you think? From Dick Cheney 289. Rest in peace, Mr. Cheney. Well, don't, but DeAndre Swift and Juwan Jennings for Derrick Henry. I like that trade a lot. I like getting Derrick Henry there. Rith, is Matt Collins worth a waiver stash? If there's no Kayshon Boutte, he has been the guy. All right, Scuba Steve says it's Ollie with the touchdown poach, which works for me. I think I'm that far delayed where I'm just now seeing it. Let's take a look. Starting Ollie Gordon today. It's a deep dynasty league. So I'm feeling all right. We got the touchdown, 6 carries, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Still on pace to lose. Still on pace to lose. Rice, Birch, Pearsall, Michael Wilson, or DJ Moore. I think I'm Ricky Pearsall. I would be going with Ricky Pearsall. Luckaboo, brutal. Need H-hand touchdown for a parlay. I'm sorry, Mr. Boo. Apologies, Mr. Boo. Ladd or Swift from Carlos? I'm going to go Ladd. Carlos? Jorge, Sutton, Quentin Johnston, or Tucker? I'm still going to Cortland Sutton. If it looks bad again this week, I'll have him out. I've already moved Franklin way up in the ranks and kind of pulled them closer together. But they're both around, what do I have? Sutton. I have Sutton 16, Troy Franklin 22. I'm hoping for the bounce back. But it could end up looking very different next week. All right, Ho-Wing Fitness, Gadsden, Sutton, Parker, Washington for flex. Let's see, how high could I get Parker Washington? I have him at 27. Could I get him ahead of Tet McMillan? Sure. Stephon Diggs is still in the ranks. We can change Juwan Jennings to Pearsall at 24. So it's a similar response with Sutton there. I'm still high on him, but I've got Parker Washington up to about 25 in the rankings, and the Broncos receivers ahead of that. Juice says, thoughts on Devontae Adams' injury. Should I start Allen, like Keenan Allen? I would still stay with Devontae Adams. At every point during the week, all of the blurbs, news blurbs about players, maybe that word isn't clear. I'm just pulling up Devontae Adams' player page on Sleeper. All of these news blurbs, latest, Devontae Adams trending towards playing. If I went into the other ones, they would all have consistently said, like, yes, he's questionable, but that he's expected to play. So I'm leaning to that. Avery W. got Shakir, Quentin Johnson, J-Mo need to start 2. Leaning Shakir and J-Mo right now, but don't like sitting Quentin Johnston. I think with Quentin Johnson and J-Mo, you're kind of just hoping for the same thing, like that they are part of the game plan, because there are definitely weeks where they go away from them. Quentin Johnson could easily go right back to a 0. That does line up with what he was doing last year. His numbers looked great at the start of the year because of the small sample size, but now that we've gotten further into the year, it looks similar. Here, this is 2024 stats. 22, we've seen that this year. 10, that's normal. 0, 3, that's also been normal in this year. That's just what he was doing last year. So when we started and it was 24, 15, 14, like you can find 24, 15, 14 in last year's numbers. And then there's also 0, 3, 3, 0. So with Quentin Johnston, with Jameson Williams, I'm hoping that the change in play calling helps Jameson Williams. If you don't want to trust it, don't. Go with Quentin Johnston. They're both very similar players to me. Mariota's questionable? I don't have the audio for the game on. I guess I'll see in just a moment. Would I sit Kittle to start Theo from Jake? I personally couldn't. I couldn't do that. A.J. Brown or Addison from the Riz? I'm going to go with A.J. Brown. I've been dying with my guy all year. Matthew Shaw calls me out by name, says Jack. Michael Wilson or Dalton Schultz? Yikes. I think Dalton Schultz. I think Devontae Adams or Nico Collins. These would both be starters for me, Noah. Both confidently I would start them. So I have Devontae Adams at 11 and Nico Collins at 9. Owen, trade JSN for Cook and Rice? I think you could. People have said not to, but at this point in the year, Owen, I want to consolidate as much as I can. So do you need to be splitting these guys out? Do you have room for follow-up moves afterwards? We've got another Jack here who says Rodgers or J.J. McCarthy. I have Justin Jefferson. Here's a run by Krosky Merritt. Nice little move. Nice move. Who do I go? Rodgers or McCarthy? I have Aaron Rodgers at 18 and J.J. McCarthy at 20. So it would be a slight edge there. If you want the stack and you want to trust that the Bears won't be able to stop them, go for it. Luis is here, says, hey, bro, one for the flex. Jamison Williams, Rashad White, DK, or Franklin. I think I'm trusting DK and Franklin ahead of JMO. If you need a ceiling play, that's when I would put Jamison Williams in. But the options that you have, DK Metcalf and Troy Franklin, have both been really consistently all right. So that's the way I would go. You could also, I wouldn't think you were wild if you said, hey, I'm trusting that things are different for Jamison Williams and he should be ranked higher than them. That would make sense. I'm not quite there yet. Rith says, do I stream Otten, Knox, or Barner? I would go with Kate Otten. With all of the receivers injured for Tampa Bay, Otten was double-digit targets last week. I think it's Otton. Yeah, 12 targets in that game. Against Buffalo, it could also be another heavy passing game. So this is a tight end I would feel fine with starting. I don't know that he's anything special, but if he's a big part of the offense with that many targets, I'll be in on that. Krosky Merritt back in the game. Let's see, Zach51, would I rather start Loveland or Hawkinson? I think Colston Loveland by a tiny, tiny bit. Yeah, it is by a tiny bit. I have Loveland at 16 and TJ Hawkinson at 17. Avery W. Mariota got banged up, but he's back out on the field. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Avery. Emmett Cito inactives are out. Have I missed any more? Will Howard, who just came off IR, is now out. I think we covered a lot of them. All right, Luckaboo says, hoping this trade gets accepted. Alec Pearson, Parker Washington for Sutton. It has, yeah. That one came in last night. Has he seen any other offers? Michael Greco, Baker or Rodgers? I'm going Baker there. Kyle Figgy starts Sutton or Quentin Johnston. I would still lean Sutton. And then Nameless start Parker Washington, Pearsall, or Judy. I feel like a fool, but I would have Pearsall and Parker Washington back-to-back, like coin flip territory. Cuddy at flex, Golden or Hawkinson or Naylor. I guess Hawkinson. Nice block there. Mariota, big run. Gavin Madden, Baker or Matt Stafford? No, I need to just come in. I don't know why Cuddy would show up as key viewers. Answered the question so he didn't ruin the key viewer section. But that just makes me angry. Let's just do this. Josh T or Judkins at flex. Ooh, I think I feel a little bit more confident with T Higgins to have a safer floor. 7 Tony, Brock Wright. I don't know that I would. H3 Gonzalez, Hawkinson, or Brock Wright for tight end. I don't know that I would jump right to Brock Wright, just filling in for everything that Laporta does. it's not just we had a play for a tight end and now we need to throw it to a different tight end and hope that he does as well. Like, they'll just throw it to other players. They'll just run more. They'll just throw it to wide receivers. They'll just run different packages out there. So I would probably lean towards Hawkinson over Brock Wright. Sports Spotlight, Tet or Vidal for PPR. I would be Tet there. Jake Vargas, Loveland, or Fannin Jr. I think a slight edge to Fannin. And Trey Tucker or Pearsall from Magna. I would go Pearsall. Gadsden or Otten from Henny God Navs. I would go Gadsden. Diego Rocha. So Otten is a start. I have him at 12 in rankings. Someone had specifically asked about him compared to other people. Shane Kindred still DK over Shakir. I'm still DK over Shakir. Let's see, where do I end up moving? I mean, I didn't ever have. I'm still DK ahead. There's a chance they go away from him and it's just tight ends. But he's the lead option in that offense. It's the Bengals defense that they're playing against. I'm not super high on DK Metcalf. I have him at 23. I don't know that Keon Coleman being out makes Khalil Shakir shoot way up the board. Like, Coleman's been pretty bad, and they've just been using Shakir and other players already. Tajay Spears or Tyrone Tracy from Jake. I think I'm going to end up going Tajay Spears. I'm not excited about either one of them. Anna, start Rice or Justin Jefferson. Going Rice there I probably have Justin Jefferson ahead. I have Jefferson at 6 and Rice at 7. So they're back to back. You could easily go with Rice if that's the way you wanted to. Rith, is it crazy for me thinking of starting Brissett over Baker? I feel like Baker won't do well this week. Baker playing the Bills, I have him at 9. I mean, he's been in... What did he end up with last week? Even against a tough defense, wound up with 23. Against New Orleans, they shut him down. I would be going Baker. I don't know that I would say that you're crazy, but there's not really any situation where I would come with you. The Riz dropped Fannin for Juwan Johnson. I would stick with Fannin. But they're all once we're that far down in tight ends, it's just starting to get to be a dart throw. And isn't Juwan Johnson on bye this week? Juwan Johnson's on bye this week, so I'm not starting him. Judkins or Marks from G Nice. I would go Judkins. Shane Kindred had 2 trade talks last over 72 hours. Both failed. Oh, no. Oh, no. Avery says, how am I feeling about A.J. Brown? You're starting to give up on him. I'm starting him, but it worries me. Neo Glenn, start Allen or Herbert. Both have solid matchups. I'm going Josh Allen. They both are in solid matchups. But I'll take the player that I think is a little bit better there. Did we cover Jake Vargas, Trey Tucker, DJ Moore, Tyrone Tracy, or Loveland at the flex? I think for that, I would end up with DJ Moore. I think I would end up DJ Moore there and hope that he turns it around. Riley Lewis, Jerry Jeudy, or Cortland Sutton? On that one, I'm going Cortland Sutton. I want to stash Jerry Jeudy. I'm hoping that he looks great this week and that we can feel like we have another great player coming on for the back part of the season. But if it were me, I would still be starting Cortland Sutton ahead of him. Start 1, Judkins, Henry, or Vidal. I think I'm Derrick Henry. I have Derrick Henry at 8, Judkins at 11, playing the Ravens. So I'm going with Henry. AA Rush 523, Ladd or T Higgins. We're trying to cover as many questions as we can. If you have a question that is just wide receiver versus wide receiver, we do have ranks broken down game by game, so you can also quickly find those answers here. I recorded it in the same spot. It's the same thoughts with a couple tweaks, like Ricky Pearsall is now playing, so he would fill in for Juwan Jennings. But on that one, I've got Ladd at 10 and T Higgins at 17. So I would end up with Ladd. Keenan Allen or Sean Tucker? I would end up with Keenan Allen there. Jaden Yang. Scuba Steve, same thoughts, different shirt. Hakdisu tries exclamation YouTube. There isn't one Hakdisu. I guess I need to add one. This is the first time I've seen people. This week is the first time I've seen people on Twitch try to do that. Hakdisu, if you're on a desktop, you can just scroll right down. I keep I'm pointing down because it should be from your point of view. Just scroll down. There's a big button that says YouTube. Otherwise, it's the same channel name. Everywhere would be at Boom Bust Fantasy. Or there's also just a link. I think Twitch allows me to just put in links to things. Should I start RJ Harvey or Chase Brown from K Chewy? I have it Chase Brown at 16 and Harvey at 19. I don't know how much of a workload Harvey gets or who they bring in to still have as the lead option there. I expect Harvey to get a lot more work, but I don't know that it becomes like 70% Harvey. We're at 11:30. We'll go about 30 more minutes. Gavin says, Ibuka or Drake London? I've got Drake London ahead at 8 and Ibuka at 12. But I want to find a way to get both of those guys in the lineup. Justin Harrell, Dak, or Stafford. Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford. I've got Dak at 4 and Stafford at 8. Scuba Steve, over under 80 yards today for Justin Jefferson. It's going to be 180 against the Bears. It's going to be a million billion. And it's going to hurt because I'm a Bears fan, for anyone not up to speed on that. Not up to speed on that. Luis, Chase Brown, or Woody Marks? I'm Chase Brown. Zach51 on Twitch. What is going on, Zach? Would I start Goff or Sam Darnold? I've got a slight edge to Goff there against the Eagles. Sam Darnold playing the Rams. They've been a tough matchup at all levels of the defense. Joe Flacco legacy game today. Let's see a big one. Let's see a big one from Flacco. Who we got running here? 4th down coming up for the Commies. I'm a little bit behind on the game. Oh, I can hit jump to live. 4th and goal, incomplete. Rith, that's the one we just read. Kyron or Higgins in the flex from Julio? Maybe Julio. That one might be Julio and not Julie something. So I would lean slight to Kyron. Scuba Steve, not betting advice, just a Bears fan. Just a pessimistic Bears fan. None of this would be betting advice. Lookaboo, Achane still has a chance for a touchdown. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Washington or Wilson? Which Wilson? Yo, Drum. Washington or Wilson? Michael Wilson? Yeah, I would go Washington there. I would lean Washington. I have not moved Michael Wilson very high up at all. My guess is that it just becomes closer to what the Jets have. Closer to, if Debo missed this game, who are we starting? No one. Are we that excited to go to Trey Tucker? Same thing, like Brock Bowers, Stan 89. Trey Tucker, Parker Washington, Michael Wilson. I'm not excited about very many of them. I think I would go to Parker Washington. Let's see. Olivier, start Brock Purdy or Jacoby Brissett. I'm going Brock Purdy. I would go with Brock Purdy there. Got him at 16. It's not amazing, but I would have it over Jacoby Brissett. I just think I'm just going to go with the talent there. Brock Bowers, I was thinking the same thing. Hasn't failed me in the last 2 weeks. All right. I'm glad you're thinking the same thing. Leonard says Trey Tucker or Tez, best boom possibility. I guess the best boom possibility would be Tez. But a lot of what we saw with Tez last week wasn't, I don't know, what's the best term for it? He scored a late game garbage touchdown and a scramble drill touchdown. So 5 targets, 4 of them. I'm not that excited by it. But compared to Trey Tucker, they're pretty interchangeable. I'll go with Tez Johnson there. Tet or JMO for PPR? I have Tet ahead, Christopher. It wouldn't surprise me if JMO, we see what he's been doing continue. With the change in the play calling to Dan Campbell, it wouldn't surprise me, but I still have Tet ahead. Stafford or Mahomes from Hainzer? I think I said I had Mahomes 1 spot ahead. Pearsall or Parker from Josh? I'm trusting Ricky P. I've got him 1 single spot ahead of Parker Washington at 24 and 25. So if you're worried about that, you can go Parker Washington. Pearsall or Dobbs from Connor? I'm going Pearsall. Magna. For flex, do you think Pearsall, Spears, or Tucker? I'm going to go with Pearsall there. And Julian Sanchez, start A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, or Woody Marks in the flex. I would be Derrick Henry there. I'd be Derrick Henry. Let's get a long touchdown. I mean, you guys have already seen this play. This isn't even H.N. It's Derrick. It's Ollie Gordon. Good 10 plus yards there. Bryson Horton, start 2. Judkins, Vidal, and Chase Brown. I'm going Judkins and Chase Brown there. They're all 3 lead options, and I just like the talent of those others way more than Vidal. Julian Sanchez, even though Derrick Henry plays the Browns, I mean, if you want to swap it, go ahead. But yeah, I did have that in consideration. Mike G, thoughts on Derrick Henry? I'm expecting late in the game, they played each other in week 2. Late in that game, the Ravens did find a way to move the ball pretty consistently against that defense. So I don't know that it's going to just be a repeat of that game. So I would still use Derrick Henry. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Those other guys aren't that far off. Jake RF, Quentin Johnston, or Vidal? I think I'm going Vidal there. Yeah, I think I'm going Kamani against the Jaguars. Let's put this on the Week 11 schedule. Where do we have the highest over-under? Minnesota. Minnesota at home. Pittsburgh. Really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the Bengals. Seattle, Los Angeles. High over-under. They both have pretty solid defenses, but both really good offenses. Jake says Kelsey or Otten. I've got a slight edge to Travis Kelsey. I've got Kelsey at 10 and Otten at 12, which would be about the highest I would get Cade Otten in a lot of weeks. See, Mr. Luckaboo played London with the thought of him being a bit banged up, or Parker Washington. If it's me, I'm going London. If you're worried about it, swap him out. I would have Parker Washington at about 25 and Drake London at 8. So it would be a big swing for me. See, Lad or Gangplank from Obred. Who's GP? It's probably not Gangplank from League of Legends. Lad or George Pickens. Probably George Pickens. I wish it was Gangplank. I wish I was playing League of Legends. I've got Lad at 10 and George Pickens at 15. This just keeps telling me Keon Coleman is out. Oh, because Keon Coleman's probably in a lineup somewhere. Oh, Brad, it's not your bad. I'm usually just slow on picking up any of these. Damian, Trey Tucker, or Michael Wilson. This is kind of the battle of just who's the best trash. Who would I go? I guess Trey Tucker. Vincent asking Baker or Flacco. Give me Baker or Flacco. I have Flacco ahead playing the Steelers and Baker at 9. So I give a slight edge to Flacco there. I think Flacco is someone you could start. Tyrone Tracy or Ricky Pearsall at the flex from Gramps. Welcome back, Gramps. I'm going Ricky P there. I'm going Ricky P. I like holding Tyrone Tracy. I don't want to jump in to start him. Someone just told me Tua is a moron. A friend on Discord. What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, muffed punt here. So that's probably not Tua. Am I that far behind? Connor Patton. Do I start Rachaad White, DeAndre Swift, or Aaron Jones? I think I'm DeAndre Swift. Yeah, I've got Swift at 18, Jones at 23 on the other side, and then Rachaad White at 22. Adam Flynn. What's going on, Adam Flynn? Could you start 2 out of Kyron, Henry, Judkins, and Pearsall? I think I'm just Kyron. Wait, oh, we got 4 names here. If we're super spooked about Derrick Henry against the Browns, I have him at 8. We can go Kyron at 9 and Judkins at 11, and I would take each of them over Pearsall. Ruben says HN is catching the ball and they're not counting it. What's going on? They typically update it. Mr. Luckaboo, Dolphins do recover. V. Kenshin, flex Trey Tucker or David Montgomery. I would end up with David Montgomery. Or should I flex A.J. Brown? I personally would do A.J. Brown over David Montgomery or the other ones. Paradox, should I drop Monungai for Spears and start Spears? It's either Spears or Monungai. I think I would go Spears there. Fozzie Barrington, I like that one. Woody Marks, Chase Brown, or Harvey? I've got Chase Brown the highest up. Chase Brown at 16. RJ Harvey at 19. Both comfortably ahead of Woody Marks, who I think I've got at 25. Adam Flynn, would you just go Henry and Kyron? I've got Adams also going for the Rams. Personally, I'm starting Derrick Henry and Kyron. Vidal or Tet McMillan from Tommy K. I think I'm going Tet. I think I'm going to end up with Tet. I would end up with Tet. It would be very close for me. So if that's the permission you want to go with Vidal, I wouldn't think it was crazy, but I would end up with Tet in a slight one. Eric, Rice, or London? I've got Rashee Rice slightly ahead. Rice at 7 and Drake London at 8. So again, that's coin flip territory. You could flip it, and I would think, oh yeah, that's fine too. If we co-owned a team, I would tell you I'd give the slight edge to Rice. And if you said, I like London, I'd say, fine, we'd go London. Guichi, Judkins, or Woody Marks? That one I would want Judkins. Luckaboo sitting at a 98% chance to win. I like those odds. My father-in-law just said 12-pack bet. I'm just not going to respond. I don't drink that much. I don't drink as much as he does. Will Robertson, Jettas or Jacoby Myers? That one I'm going Justin Jefferson. Mystic Mace, Brock Wright or Luke Musgrave? If these are the only options you have, I guess I'm going Luke. I guess I would go Luke. But I don't feel comfortable about either one. Keaton Quall says, happy Sunday. Brock Bowerstan says, is Jacoby in your top 25 this week? I've got Parker Washington at 25 and Jacoby Myers at 29. There aren't that many receivers on bye, which would make a difference. So it would be like Parker Washington, Stephon Diggs at 26, Tad at 27, Debo 28, Jacoby Myers 29. With players ahead of them, actually, if I pull Marv out, those will all move up a spot. So just subtract one from any of them. I had guys like Marv ahead of them, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith back-to-back ahead of them, Zay Flowers, Troy Franklin ahead of them, just for context. You can also, some of them have now changed since Tuesday when I recorded it. Check the ranks there for any other context. Although with the Jags, that one would be out of date. Jonathan, would I flex Odunze over Shakir or Dobbs? I would. Reed Pothoff, Flacco or JJ McCarthy? I would go Flacco there. Brock Bowerstan, you got a YouTube channel? Yes, sir. Yes. I try not to sell a ton in the TikTok videos, but pretty often I'm putting the ranks link in there or just putting a video saying that we have YouTube or going live to tell people to check it. Adam Flynn says, would you start Adams over Pearsall and Tucker and Lockett? Like Devontae Adams, I would. Luckaboo, he doesn't have a quarterback and is missing a wide receiver and running back. So he might make some changes. I went from on pace to losing because I can't switch to the team. I had Laporta in the lineup and no quarterback on the team. So I grabbed Purdy, put a tight end in, and now I'm on pace to win. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad for you. Oh, he hasn't checked fantasy in 6 weeks. Hopefully he's not watching this. The transition brief, Chase Brown or A.J. Brown, full PPR. I think I would end up with Chase Brown. I have the rankings close enough and enough fear of A.J. Brown that I would go Chase Brown. In the Battle of the Browns, Wandale or A.J. Brown, I would not. I would believe that that Philly can get things going. Like they hear the things that are said. I think they can turn it around. The talent is there. He hasn't checked fantasy in 6 weeks. Do not jinx it. It's Scuba Steve. We'll see. Shaheed or DeMarcado? I would go Shaheed, Crimney. Here's Achane. No touchdown, though. Out at the 6. I've got Achane in some spots. I would really like to get a touchdown here. His only win, he checked it last minute and won by 1 point. Maybe the dude just doesn't like you. Keaton Qualls, thoughts on Omarion Hampton's return, just picked up and dropped Dobbins. We were in week 11. They go on by and week 12, the last that we heard was that he would not be back until at least after the week 12 bye. So week 13, he would have hopefully 2 games of the regular season and the playoffs, but he would be a RB2 for sure, top 20 for sure. All right, I'm behind you guys. Can we get the Achane touchdown? He's running. He is not looking like he's getting in. London, DK, or McConkey for T. Hansen or Thanson 420. I would have Drake London the highest ranked, and then McConkey second, and then DK third. Addison or Gadsden at the flex from Christopher. I think I would just take the safety at Gadsden. It would not surprise me at all if Addison had the bigger day. I feel like a bit safer floor with Gadsden there. Brock Bowers or Drake London at the flex. I think I'm Drake London. Is it bad to start the Seahawks defense from Crimney? I would try to get away from it. Personally, I would. I don't know that there's a ton of turnovers on the Rams. They can move the ball really well. That's really what I'm looking for. Can they stop a team from scoring? Or does that team turn the ball over a lot? And I don't see either one of them there. So that would be my thoughts. But defenses are it's all kind of fluky. Lag 1422. Good morning. Would I start Parker Washington or Trey Tucker? I would start Parker Washington. Okay, I haven't seen anyone say Achane gets a touchdown here, but here's a play. 2nd and goal. Dump off to Achane. Tackled at the 0. Tackled inside the 1-yard line. Give it to Ollie Gordon. Crimner, Steelers over Seahawks. Ooh. I have this one. All right, look, we'll give it to Achane. Ollie time. Man, Steelers over Seahawks. Pittsburgh's favored. Flacco will fumble or throw an interception. I don't want to stand on business and say that I for sure go Pittsburgh. It's definitely riskier. The thing that if I was deciding this one, I would look at how many sacks does Los Angeles give up? Can we get some sacks? And that's what I would make my decision based on. Diego Rocha, White or Chase Brown? That one I'm going Chase Brown. Progression mindset, Shakir or Woody? Give me Khalil Shakir. Give me Khalil Shakir there. Worthy, Pearsall, or Tet from Thad Dan? I think I've got Tet the highest. I've got Tet at like 20. No, I don't. I have Pearsall. I have Pearsall with a slight edge to over Tet. Am I starting Pearsall today? Let's pull this up. I've got Pearsall coming back from injury on a team where I think I nailed it with receivers. Did I put Pearsall in? We don't cover my own teams a lot. I've got Rome, JSN, Puka, and Jalen Waddle. And Pearsall is snuck in the IR, so I didn't have to drop someone. Although I could just drop Darius Slayton and move Laporta to IR. Everyone's getting injured. This stinks. Let's just do the swap. So Pearsall's out there. He's out there on the sidelines coaching up his boys. Adam Flynn, what tight end do I pick up? Otten, Hawk, Theo Johnson, and Njoku. I feel safest with Otten. Maybe an edge with Theo Johnson. You know, maybe like some more upside from Theo Johnson. But I have Otten at 12, Johnson at 13, Njoku at 18. Caleb Williams or Stafford from Takers. We do have full game breakdowns with positional ranks for anyone who's having a hard time getting any question answered. If your question is just Caleb Williams or Stafford, you could just, in this video, jump to those games where it's broken down. I have Caleb Williams at 15 and Stafford at 8. Reese, which quarterback should I go with? I didn't know that I was going to jump right to one that was the same thing. Rodgers, Jefferson, or Mills? I would give a slight edge to Aaron Rodgers. But you can also, like, same thing. We got Baker or Darnold. I'm going Baker. Where do I have Knox this week? That one I feel like is a bit like, just go check it. What do we get here? Stuffed at the 1. Was that Achane not getting in? 4th and goal. Yikes, are they going for this? Would you go for this here, 4th and goal? Or did I just see them go for it and miss it? 4th and goal, tie game. Are you just taking the points and hoping they don't get a touchdown? I feel like you just take the points. It's so easy for them to get the points. You can't go for it. You got to take the points here. It's so easy for them to get. If you miss, it's so easy for them to get a field goal. I guess if you miss, you're hoping that they can't drive there's no kickoff for them. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out my butt here. Fryermuth or Sutton for the flex. I would go Cortland Sutton, Dennis Piper. Adrian, Purdy or Flacco says, love the content. We've got ranks. We've got ranks content, Adrian. So if you have quarterback versus quarterback questions, we've got that as content. Content you say you loved. But I have Flacco ahead. I have Flacco ahead of Purdy, Adrian. Daniel, Flex McMillan, Jacoby Myers, or Gadsden. I've got a slight edge to Tet McMillan. Ethan says, love the content, brother, with a heart. Thank you, Ethan. I need to look up, make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I've missed anything here. Oh, no, I did. Ethan, I missed it. In my flex spot, should I start Judy or Sean Tucker or Tez or Kyle Pitts? I think I'm a slight edge to Tez, then Jerry Judy. Dobbs or Michael Wilson. I would go Romeo Dobbs there. Medical staff is looking at Achane. Uh-oh. He'll be fine. He's got the bye next week, right? Long term, I think he'll be fine. Crimney, Flacco, or Hurts. Got to go Hurts still, right? I personally would still go Hurts. Connor, Calvin Austin, or Jerry Judy, please help. I think I would end up with Jerry Judy ahead. The Via, Chargers or Browns defense. I don't trust the Packers defense. I think the Chargers against the Jags. I'm looking for interceptions there. Los Angeles at Jacksonville. I'm just looking for some interceptions, a couple sacks. The Jags will turn it over. Oh, 4th and goal. Stuffed. Ollie Gordon. Field goal takes it. Scuba Steve. Oh, no. Hunt or DeMarcado from Vaughn? I would go Kareem Hunt over DeMarcado. I don't know that I'm not worried about DeMarcado being the main guy compared to Bam Knight. I think a lot of what we saw last week was the Cardinals were down 21-0 first quarter by the end of the first quarter. So early in the first quarter, they were way behind, and that changes things. Screaming Iron Man? Screaming Riemann? Screaming Ryman. Screaming someone with a follow. Thank you. I don't see the question though. I'm looking. Caden says RJ Harvey or Aaron Jones. I'm Harvey on that one. Roger Winthrop, Trey Tucker or Tez? A slight edge to Tez for me. AJ Brown or T Higgins from K. I think I've got T. I've got T one single spot ahead. Trade Johnston for Harvey. I think I would end up doing that. In a lot of situations, I would end up doing that. Oh boy. If they score here, do they let Mike McDaniel come home on the plane? Do they make him get a different plane? Would I accept Henry for Jalen Warren and Shakir? Like I send Jalen Warren and Shakir and I get Derrick Henry? I think I'm taking Derrick Henry. All right, Luckaboo, let's get an overtime for you. Or maybe a turnover. They send his plane to a different city. That's a good option. Do you think he knows that something's up if he's on the plane without the team? Or you think they just give him an iPad with McGruber and tell him everything's all right? Dylan Deed, RJ Harvey, or Vidal for the flex? I'm going Harvey. Mike becomes Michael McDaniel. Oh, I don't understand it, but I like it. I think I'm too dumb for this joke. Pearsall or Tez from Screamin'. I'm going Pearsall there. I'm trusting. Crazy Monkey Lover Darnold. A slight edge to Darnold. PBF. Poopy breath fart. Good morning. Ugly question. Sean Tucker, Spears, DeMarcado, or Hunt? I think I'm going I think I'm going Hunt there with no Pacheco. Kevin McAllister, his tail. Oh no, they send his plane to a different city. I need Achan to come back into the game. He's coming back. I don't know about that. You don't think they would even give him an iPad? I think that was, isn't that what, maybe it wasn't an iPad. Maybe it was just the in-game flight with Tua and Mike McDaniel. I think they said they stayed and watched MacGruber together when Tua was concussed a couple years ago. Dan, Judy, or Worthy at the flex? I think I'm still lean. I'm ready to, Dan, I want Jerry Judy to come back and be great. I think for at least one more week, I'm going Worthy over him. If it works out that it's Judy ahead, I would swap it in future weeks, but I think I'm still going with Worthy ahead. And I wouldn't think you were crazy if you went in on Judy. Who did I just see? Any value in Bidet or Brashard Smith today? It's so hard to gauge. Like I think Bidet maybe has some value. Brashard Smith has just not done anything. If it changes this year, if Brashard Smith starts doing things, I would expect it to be this week, but he has not cleared 30% snap share. He's only cleared that in one game. For as much talk as there has been, this is why I don't like Brashard Smith is a great example of why I don't really listen to anything the coaches say. For, when coaches hype up a player like Brashard Smith, there's multiple quotes of coaches saying, like, we're really going to find the way to get him the ball. We're really excited about him. That excitement is not translated into game day. He's a stash for this Sunday. If you have a bench spot, like, pick him up and stash him and we'll see. But he's also someone that I would immediately drop if nothing happened. Oh, Rob D is back. Pick one, Wandale, J-Mo, Dobbs, or Quentin Johnston. It's a tough go for me. I would end up with probably Johnston, Wandale, then J-Mo, then Dobbs. Woody Marks or Judkins? I'm going Judkins, Nick. Really torn at DeMercado or Shaheed at flex from Crimney. I feel ya. I would go Shaheed. Ooh. 2nd and 8, knockdown pass, 22 seconds remaining. I think I'm Shaheed. See Shaheed a second week in that offense. I don't know that they even needed to use Shaheed at all in that game. Let's pull it up because we've had a lot of conversations about Seattle against the Cardinals. If we're looking at like what did Rashid Shaheed do in that game, it's first quarter, 14-0, 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, 96% chance for Seattle to win that game. Like, that's a no Shaheed game. So Shaheed's first game with the Seahawks, we're looking at deep pass, no way, okay, no catch. Right away, jump off of the game, no need for Rashid Shaheed, just run out the clock. It was 98%, 99% chance Seattle wins, and then a slight upgrade to 97% before just sitting at 99.9 for all of the fourth quarter. A lot of what we saw in this game, like DeMarcado stats, I don't really want to value. On the flip side, Shaheed, no stats. So I think I'm going, I guess I didn't realize I was talking about both teams there. I think I would, in a neutral game, I think Shaheed scores a little bit better. Raider Man, Brown, Vidal, Judkins, Harvey, pick 3. Vidal would be the odd man out. Bishy Yishi, Woody Marks, or Jalen Warren. I would go Jalen Warren. Lookaboo, next week's big for me. It will determine if I get a first round buy or not. Let's get it. Is it overtime? 4th and 8? That's out. Overtime. Rob D, Derrick Henry versus Cleveland, or Rachaad White versus the Bills. He calls it wide right as well. I'm going Derrick Henry there. I know it was a rough game the first time they played the Browns, excuse me. Yeah, the first time the Ravens played the Browns, he did not score well. We pulled this up on stream earlier this week, and I had a full face drop moment because it was 2 points. 11 for 23 before they went away and started scoring with deep passing. I think they won that. This Cleveland, let's just pull it up. Pull up a couple more games. Can we find like Seahawks? If we go to Ravens, this game against the Browns in week 2, they won it 41-17. It was like 10-3 at the half. I think you have to go to play-by-play. Second quarter, 10-3 going into the half. So they were stymied in that first half with the run game. And then they found ways to just score a ton. Some of these were like turnovers. But I think if in a reset game at home in Baltimore, no, they're now in Cleveland, I guess, for this one. But in a reset game, I expect them to be able to score a little bit. Luckaboo says if Achane scores, I'll gift a sub to celebrate. We'll see. We'll see. It's 11:30 though. I gotta close out the stream here. Make sure I've got my lineup set and set stuff up. So we're at 11:30. I'm gonna check out the end of the game. Good luck to everyone today. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you to the gifters on TikTok like Rob D, Keaton Qualls, Scuba Steve, Jake, Cuddy, Luis, OVO, Tony, Jay Bushi. I think we covered every single one of them there. Knox versus Barner for a streaming tight end. I think Barner. Luckaboo, if he scores, I'll do it next time you're live. I think I'll be live. I think I'm going to do... We'll see how the family's hanging up. How the family's doing. Normally, I try to bring my daughter in here as much as I can during the games to give my wife time away. But if we're looking all right, I think I'm going to start doing recaps Sunday night. So we'll go live. We'll pull up the box scores and kind of talk about what happened and chime in on if you're winning, if you're losing. It'll be more low key because there's not really questions to answer. There's no start sits. Doritos are hot. Am I late? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hottie. ETN or Derrick Henry for Doritos? I'm still going Derrick Henry. I mean, we have this game pulled up where Derrick Henry did not score against the Browns and looked pretty bad. I think I'm all right with it. Shane, thoughts on Bijan with no red zone touches? He still gets red zone touches. It just didn't happen last week. I'm fine with Bijan. I'm out of here. Take care, guys. Luckaboo, good luck to the Bears. Good luck to the Vikings. I'll be in the... If you're watching, in our Discord, we have a game day chat thread sharing your thoughts during the games. I know people pop in like, here we have game day. Beat Punch Beef in there talking about the current game. I'll be in here just chiming in on things as they happen. So if you're just looking to have a spot to chat about what's going on in the games, we have that as well. Right here, game day thread in our fantasy Discord. We're at the end on TikTok. The Discord is listed on your screen right behind the chat, tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. On Twitch and on YouTube, you can type !Discord and it will send a link in the chat. Otherwise, on YouTube, there's a link in every video description. And on Twitch, there's a button that says Discord, and that will send you an invite. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. How do I end this? Goodbye, 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 goodbye. I need to come over here. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.